Hello, and welcome to tonight's quiet journey. I'm so happy you're here. This is your moment to let the world outside fade, to settle into the hush of night, and to drift into a story where curiosity glows as softly as candlelight. Tonight, we'll step into a Parisian laboratory where the air hums with the quiet magic of discovery. It's a place of flickering flames, whispered calculations, and the gentle glow of something extraordinary, where one woman listens to the secrets of the universe, written in the language of atoms. Here, time moves differently, measured not by clocks but by the steady pulse of a scientist's devotion. The night stretches long and still, wrapping around her like a familiar shawl as she works, her hands steady, her heart full. So find your coziest spot. Let your breathing slow and feel the warmth of this hidden world surround you. And when you're ready, we'll begin just as the radium glows, patient and luminous in the dark. The laboratory breathes in darkness, a sanctuary of whispered equations and patient glass vessels that hold tomorrow's revelations. In this quiet corner of Paris, where gaslight from the street barely penetrates the frost-etched windows, Marie moves like a prayer through shadows and science. Her footsteps are careful against the worn wooden floors, each board familiar as the lines of her own palm. The Geiger counter's gentle clicking provides a lullaby of discovery, punctuated by the soft bubble of solutions warming over Bunsen flames that dance like captured stars. Tonight, as every night for months now, she has returned to this sacred space after Pierre and little Irene have surrendered to sleep. The house above grows still, but here in her cathedral of knowledge, Marie communes with elements that sing in frequencies only the devoted can hear. The radium sample glows with ethereal green light in its lead-lined chamber, a phosphorescent dream that seems to pulse with the rhythm of her own heartbeat. She adjusts her notebook closer to the lamp, its pages filled with careful observations written in her flowing script, each entry a love letter to truth. How strange that the very substance that illuminates her work also whispers warnings of invisible danger. Yet Marie continues, drawn by something deeper than caution, something that speaks to the part of her soul that has always sought light in darkness, answers in the impossible. The autumn wind rattles the laboratory windows, and she pauses to pull her woolen shawl closer. Through the glass she can see the outline of chestnut trees whose leaves have turned to copper and gold, their branches swaying in the midnight breeze like gentle hands beckoning her toward rest. But rest will come later. Now there is only this, the patient measurement of invisible forces, the careful notation of phenomena that exist beyond the reach of ordinary senses. Her hands already showing the strange burns that mark her chosen path, move with practiced precision among the instruments. She thinks of Pierre, sleeping peacefully upstairs, his breath steady and warm against his pillow. In the morning, he will descend to find her here, still working, and his eyes will hold both admiration and gentle concern. He understands her passion because it mirrors his own, this hunger to understand the universe's most intimate secrets. Sometimes, in the deepest hours of night, she feels as though she is conversing with the elements themselves. The uranium ore whispers stories of ancient stars, of cosmic forces that shaped the very atoms she now coaxes into revealing their mysteries. Each measurement brings her closer to something profound, something that will shift humanity's understanding of the very fabric of reality. The laboratory cat, Napoleon, slips through the partially open door and winds around her legs, purring softly. His presence brings warmth to the cool space, and Marie reaches down to stroke his sleek black fur. Even he seems to sense the magic that permeates this place, the way science and wonder dance together in the flickering light. She returns to her calculations, the numbers flowing across the page like poetry written in the language of discovery. Outside, Paris sleeps, but in this small room, the future unfolds one careful observation at a time. The radium continues its patient glow, neither hurried nor delayed by human desire, following laws that existed long before Earth itself formed. Marie adjusts the sensitive balance, watching as microscopic amounts of material reveal their secrets. There is meditation in this precision, a kind of prayer found in the marriage of careful thought and delicate touch. Her mind moves between the immediate task and the larger implications, how this work might heal, might illuminate, might transform the world for her daughter and all the daughters yet to come. The clock on the wall ticks toward 3 a.m, but time feels suspended here, caught between the urgency of discovery and the eternal patience required for true understanding. She imagines Irene in her small bed upstairs, dreaming perhaps of the fairy tales Marie read to her before tucking her in, stories of brave princesses and magical transformations. How fitting that her own life has become such a story, a tale of transformation where ordinary matter reveals extraordinary properties, where the invisible becomes visible through persistence and love. For love it is, this devotion to science, as powerful and consuming as any romance, as nurturing as any maternal instinct. The Bunsen flame flickers in a draught, casting dancing shadows on the wall where her diplomas hang, achievements hard won in a world that questioned whether a woman's mind could grasp such complexities. Yet here she stands, coaxing secrets from elements that have waited millions of years to be understood. Napoleon settles onto a stack of journals, his purring adding another layer to the laboratory's nighttime symphony. The Geiger counter continues its gentle percussion, counting invisible events that speak of atomic transformation, of energy released and captured, of the fundamental forces that bind the universe together. She thinks of her childhood home in Poland, of winter evenings when her father would read to her about the great scientists who came before. Did they too work through such nights, driven by curiosity that burned brighter than any lamp? Did they too feel this sense of standing at the edge of knowledge, reaching toward understanding that seemed always just beyond their fingertips? The radium sample pulses with its ghostly light. Beautiful and mysterious, Marie records another measurement, her handwriting steady despite the late hour. Tomorrow she will share these findings with Pierre, their minds meeting over the data like two streams converging into a river of understanding. But tonight belongs to solitude and science, to the quiet communion between researcher and subject. The laboratory holds space for both her ambition and her tenderness, the fierce intellect that drives her forward, and the gentle heart that seeks to heal the world through knowledge. A soft snow begins to fall outside, the flakes catching what little light escapes through the frosted windows. The laboratory grows even quieter, if such a thing were possible, wrapped now in winter's hushing embrace. Marie pauses in her work to watch the snow, remembering how Irene delights in catching snowflakes on her tongue, how Pierre's eyes crinkle with joy when he sees his daughter's wonder. These moments of family happiness weave themselves through her scientific pursuits like golden threads, binding her discoveries to love, her ambitions to the hope of a better world. Each breakthrough carries the weight of responsibility to use knowledge wisely, to remember that behind every equation stands human need. The radium continues its patient glow, neither diminished nor disturbed by her contemplation. In its steady light, she sees both the promise and the peril of discovery, the way knowledge brings power that must be wielded with wisdom. Her hands, already marked by her chosen path, continue their careful work. The laboratory breathes around her, a living space where past and future meet in the eternal present of discovery. Here, in the gentle clicking of the Geiger counter and the soft bubble of warming solutions, Marie finds her truest home, a place where mind and heart, science and love, dance together in perfect, patient harmony. As dawn approaches, still hours away, she continues her vigil, guardian of mysteries that shimmer just beyond the reach of ordinary sight, keeper of light that glows not from any earthly fire, but from the very heart of matter itself, transformed by understanding into something beautiful and strange and endlessly gently profound.